Hi guys, so major update. So you get me in person, not me writing a script and then using AI to do a video. So if you don't like those, don't watch them, to be frank. But this is incredibly important, right? So at Google's I/O conference, they've just announced how they're changing search. Now, I've been doing digital marketing for 28 years now. SEO's always been part of it. It's never been our absolute focus. So we've never been a pure SEO agency. We've always been about brand to demand, helping people get leads and pipeline. And yes, of course, organic search is one of those things, but it's always been a real specialism that's changed all the time. And it's now facing the single biggest change. So there's two ways to look at this. If you've spent years building up really great organic search, you really need to pay attention. If you've not done that, you're new, or it's never really been a focus, now is the tipping point to start to pay attention and to be able to do something different. So essentially what's happening is Google, best way to think about it is Google are losing out searches to AI engines. So people are going to ChatGPT and asking it a question. People are going to Claude, asking it a question. Manus, asking it a question. So instead of going to Google and saying best hotels in Portugal, they'll go to ChatGPT and say, what I like, find me some hotels in Portugal, when's a good time to go, look at the reviews, I want it to have a pool. So they get much more granular and they have a conversation with their agent that makes their recommendations, right? So that's been dramatically on the rise. You know, the varying statistics, but up to 40% now of searches don't happen in a search bar, they happen in an agent. So Google has to react to that because people aren't using the Gemini agent for that. They're just not. So Google have got to react to that. So what they've announced is they're essentially revolutionizing the first page of the Google search to be Google AI, almost to match what people are doing with ChatGPT. So instead of you putting in a search and then it coming up with a load of blue links, you're going to put in a search and it's going to come up with AI-based recommendations and then encourage you to have a conversation with it. So this now changes from not being SEO to being, are you cited by AI? And it gets a little bit more complicated than that because being cited for AI in the different engines is actually really quite different. I'm just outside a customer, a big UK retailer. They are amazing on SEO. They get cited everywhere. They get compared. They get really great comparisons against their competitors. So when you look at their citations in ChatGPT, they're incredibly high. When you measure their citations for exactly the things in Google AI, they are totally invisible. Out of the top 30 queries, they only actually appeared in one. And that's because not all AI engines look for the same things. ChatGPT looks for something different to Google AI has. So over the last years, I'm not sure anybody's particularly optimized for Google AI because really it's not been as used as the other platforms. It's been, okay, well, Google search. But now, because search is changing, this is going to be a big pivot. So this is now the time. So what we've done just to help people understand where they rank in their AI citations is just spin up a really simple website. It's called Am I AI Visible? So look for the link. If you can't see, it's just www.amiaivisible.com. Put in your URL in there. It'll check your location. It'll check what you do, and it'll give you your score across the different AI engines. So the one specifically here we're looking for is Google AI. Are you being cited? Now, the good news is there's a lot you can do about getting cited. The bad news is it's very different to ChatGPT. So it's not just taking an AEO or GEO approach. You have to specifically look for it. So again, if anybody wants to know the playbook, I can put a document together. If anyone wants help, please reach out. But we'll put a specific guide together to be how to get ranked here, because literally this is going to change. Loads of people that have relied on organic search because that's what they've been optimizing that don't know this are going to suddenly wonder why their traffic is dropping off a cliff as Google moves to implement this. So have a great Friday. Nice to speak to everybody, and check out the link and see where your base level is today.